Hey, what's up everybody? This is Life Coach D coming at you, and I'm coming at you with just a little bit of history on Juneteenth. So happy Juneteenth to everyone out there. I'm perplexed in a couple of ways as it pertains to Juneteenth because I don't think a lot of people understand the significance of it. Yeah, Congress fought and they debated back and forth and they eventually voted in that it should be a holiday. But how many people know that the reason that people celebrate Juneteenth is because it was when African Americans found out in the South, specifically or particularly Texas, that they were free from the Emancipation Proclamation in 1865. The sad reality is by the time they got to the South, well, let me back up a little bit. Never forget that America had a war against itself. It was the South against the North. The North was like, hey, we don't want to deal with all this other stuff. The South is like, we try to keep slavery alive and well, but really, the North wasn't necessarily okay with not keeping slavery. They just wanted to make sure that they could financially benefit as well. Not hearing about this, being taught this in history books, and this is why it's so important that people like myself put this out there. So I digressed a little bit, but the reality is they went down to Texas and they said to the slaves, you guys have been freed. You know, of course, there weren't airplanes and, buses and major transportation back then. So it was days and months before that message got down to Texas. And so the reality of Juneteenth celebration is that the South finally realized and finally understood and knew that they were free. The reality is that the South didn't want them to be free. So they had a couple of options. The first option, they were told you're free and you can do what you want to do. Second option was, you can be free, but what are you gonna do? The reality of it is, ain't much you can do. If you get out there and you just run free, we'll make sure that we get you back here and make you work anyway. And then the next option was, okay, you can stay around, but we'll pay you low pay, or what we determine is the pay that we need to pay you. And last but certainly not least, you guys can try to get out of here and hope that you escape the tyranny of the South and its racist ways. So when people are celebrating and getting days off from work and things of that nature, but don't really understand what this history is or what America's history is, while you have states like Florida trying to erase history out of textbooks, period, and other southern states trying to erase history, the reality of it is we need to know what's going on. If we know where we come from, then we absolutely can know where we're going. And as we seek for unity and a nation that's not divided, there's no way we cannot be divided if we never address the true and reality of this country's history. So as you guys celebrate Juneteenth, once again, I want to say to you guys, make sure you really, really understand the plight of the Africans in America and what they endured, my ancestors endured, as you celebrate. But take a couple of minutes to say, dang on it, they went through a lot. And we need to be empathetic for what has happened. We need to be real with what's happened. We need to expose what's happened. And then we need to embrace what has happened so we can move forward in a positive perspective into the future. That is the history of Juneteenth as told by Life Coach D. There's so much more, but that's just a little snippet. Always educate yourself. Strive to have knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and clarity, okay? That way you're not walking around in willful ignorance. And it's kind of hard to do that today in a system, informational age where you can find out anything you want at your fingertips. So that's what I have. So until you guys hear from me again, I just remember your lives are very valuable. Much love. God bless. Peace be the journey. Happy Juneteenth.